I am back with another video on NoFap, semen retention, and sex energy transmutation. I have something special for you today. I have a clip from a meeting from my mastermind group that I want to share with you. I have permission from the guys on there to share the clip with you. You get to see what we are doing. This is what I wished for when I was recovering. When I was recovering, I wished there was a group out there that I could belong. I wish there was a coach and a mentor who had succeeded in overcoming porn, who practiced semen retention that I could work with, that I could pay, give some money. And I was willing a lot of money because in those days I was in business making money, but such money was not available. So I said to myself, when I recover, I would come out and create the solution to the problems that I had. I've been on YouTube for 5 months. I've gotten 1,000 subscribers. The response is overwhelming. And in my coaching practice, I eventually put a mastermind group together. So the mastermind group is like this. You sign up for a coaching tier with me on Patreon, I automatically enroll you in that mastermind group. That mastermind group meets every other Monday for 2 hours, and we talk about things that fall within 5 areas. I call these the 5 pillars of the mastermind group: goal setting, planning, action, problem solving, and decision making. As you know, PM would destroy your nervous system, and with that came lethargy, indecision, laziness, lack of clarity. So, a group like that or learning these skills are very essential for you. Planning and execution are very essential for a recovering addict. So, what I wanted to do was, besides working with those guys individually every single day on the phone with them through text, through video call, through phone calls, I wanted to bring them together every 2 weeks and work on personal goals, talk among each other, help each other out, build each other up, and also celebrating real life results, celebrating real life wins that they're having as a result of being on semen retention and practicing sex energy transmutation. Just wanted you to see this, and if you like it, send me a message. Until then, I'll talk to you. So thank you guys for being here. I'm actually very excited because a community like this or a work like this is very much needed in our community of recovering porn addiction addicts. That's how I call us. I call when I say us, I always say us or we because I'm part of it too. Because as you know, the principle is it takes one relapse, and we are always on the verge of a relapse. So even the guy who seems to be advanced can fall back at any given moment. Um, so thank you guys for being here. It's a great accomplishment for all of us, for me and for you guys. Uh, so now we're going to introduce Ronnie and Afalabi.
Hello.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
up, guys?
So Ronnie lives in Florida, actually in the same city where I lived in Orlando. Um, he 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 initially reached out on Instagram. I think I posted his message in the chat in the group. He just wanted to say thank you, and then he hit me back. He hit me back. He hit me back. He was very persistent. He wanted to work with us. He wanted to join. So now he's on. So Ronnie, um, so that we save on time, I have actually two questions to ask you. One of is how long have you been on PMO, and what motivated you to actually choose? Well, I think at the time it was Men's Kingdom or Men's Superpower. So just answer these two questions real quick so we can save time.
Right. Okay, so I've been on and off. I've known about this entire thing. Really, I've started to take interest maybe I'd say in the summer of 2019, and then I would, relapse so many times, and when I went to jail, I actually did not relapse, not even once, and I was in jail for a whole month and a half. So when I came out, and I was
Jonathan,
like,
you're back. Your video is back, Jonathan.
I
Okay.
realized so many things, and I've felt so many differences just by keeping that
Everybody else is
life
back.
force energy inside of me. So my motivation for this really is to have control over my urges and over temporary satisfaction. Because I believe that a man that can have control over his, temporary satisfaction can have control over anything he wants. So that's pretty much my motivation for this, and it was really a huge problem because as David said, he said that one relapse eventually leads to a binge, and a binge, like, that's true. I would literally go on days, and don't laugh at me, but I kid you not, maybe 20 times in one day. That's pretty extreme. So I don't know if anybody in here had it that bad, but I'm telling you, me personally, that's what was affecting me the most, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Great. Great. Well, thank you for sharing. I think we all can identify with the bench relapse. Every man here has bench relapse. Absolutely. Uh, there's no doubt. So, and we're glad to have you. Some of the guys have already welcomed you. So, Aflabi, same questions go to you. Welcome, first of all, and congrats on taking that step.
Thank
So,
you.
how long have you been on PMO, and what motivated you to take that step in signing up with Men Superpower?
Uh, nice to be here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, it's nice to be here. I've been on PMO for like 20 years, a long time ago when I was very young. I got exposed very young, so it's been bad for me. It affected my self-esteem. I'm a reserved person. I'm very quiet, so the PMO made it more worse. Very quiet, isolated. I'm always on my own, and it really killed me. I lost a lot of relationship and everything. And I saw Men's Kingdom. I saw it on YouTube. And I believe it was not an accident. I believe it was for a reason. So I saw it on YouTube, watched your video, and I felt like this was for me. And when I started this semen retention, it was not easy. And I haven't had any relapse for a while now, for like 3 weeks now. I started this month, and I just hope to keep going and just keep going. What Ronnie said about PM and masturbating for like 20 times, I could relate. It was crazy. You want to do it
Mm,
every time. You're never satisfied. You keep going, and you just there's this guilt you feel after you do it. And I'm glad to be here. So that's my story.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Um, Give me one sec. Cool. We all can relate. Absolutely. Um, we all can relate to that. We all have done the same. We all have reached the same point. That's why it's an achievement for me and for all of you for to be here. Actually, it's a great achievement. So let's talk about, well, let's do some celebration. So anybody has achieved any goal, small, big, or big, worthy of note since last time we were on this call? Of course, that wouldn't pertain to the new guys.
right.
So of course I know Simba. Um, got a new job.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Respects.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, I start that job next week, I think. So yeah, I'm just waiting on that.
Swag, bro.
What about anybody else? Jonathan, you got a planner, you bought an iPad, you're working on the
Yes,
go. That's
yes.
that's
Um,
worthy of noting. That's worthy of noting.
yeah, since we last spoke, I manifested some money in my life, and because of that, I bought this iPad. Um, hold on one second, guys.
All right.
Um, I bought this iPad. I was contemplating whether or not I should buy it, but I got it. It's the new one, and it's really light. It's really portable. I've been taking it with me everywhere, and I've been working more because of that. I know Simba and Jake, you guys remember when we were talking about the planners.
Yeah.
So that, like, ever since David said that, I was on a search for a planner, and I finally found one. It just came in a few days ago. Um, it's a it's a weekly slash monthly planner. Um, so that's the one that David suggested. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's got the week view,
Yeah.
and then on the
Yeah.
other side, it's just plain graph paper, so you could write notes and ideas. Um, and then at the start, it's got the calendar view, like the month. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Um,
see.
I haven't started using it yet because it starts in March, and the one that I wanted, the whole 12-month planners were sold out, so I had to get that one. Um, so it starts in March, and also something else I want to share with you guys that I manifested. Um, I've been a little obsessed with writing and grammar and the English language. So I've been looking up online about that, and then my brother, out of the blue, says, "Hey, I got this book at Goodwill for $1, and I'm going to give it to you." So I manifested this book. This means a lot to me um, because it was just so funny how it happened. And yes, since we've last spoke, I've had some success. I do feel like I'm at a little bit of a plateau right now, um, just because I haven't purchased any more vehicles. But I feel like I'm moving in the right direction. I'm getting the tools that I need, and to be honest with you guys, I'm doing everything that I can. I mean, there's not really much more I can do. I feel very accomplished at night. I could go to sleep, and my sleep is sweet, knowing that I did everything that I could have done for the day. So that's all I have to say for now.
Well, awesome. It's worth noting. It's worth congratulated upon. It's worth talked about, being talked about. It's worth talking about. So thanks, John. I recently told John that I'm proud of him. And that wasn't the first time, but I am really uh, proud of you, John.
It's 20 hours.
So, Jacob.
Yes. So in terms of developments for me, also been writing in the journal a ton. Got this, and it's just basically just really for the gist of it. You guys can get that it's just a lot of note taking, whether it has to do with PMO related things or just spirituality related things. My work is more on the consciousness aspect, and it's more on the aspect of trying to get work manifested into my life. When I'm so I again, like I mentioned earlier, March 6th, I do have an interview coming up for a company, and when that day comes, I'll do the best I can, and hopefully uh, things can just happen. And if that's the case, great. If not, I will redirect it. I'll do my thing. On top of that, it's just been a ton of sitting with myself, meditating as per usual, and just a ton of self-reflection. Like it's really my obsession is uh, knowing about the truths about myself, knowing the truths about like what I'm experiencing, and it is it is something that I deeply yearn to understand. So, if anything, just growing in understanding, and well, actually, growing in understanding internally and externally. I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Mm, interesting.
Perfect. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, Jake is a scholar. Uh, I'm very impressed by the depth of his knowledge tree. Scholars build knowledge tree. They go from the root to the trunk. Well, the soil, the root, the trunk, the branches, and then the leaves. Regular people only look at the leaves and the fruits. They're like, oh, well, the fruits, I'm sorry, they only look at the fruits. That's a beautiful apple. That's what the general people, but this guy can go very deep. So that's great. No doubt that there's a teacher in him um, being born. So even if you guys were not on that last call, I feel like anything happened since we started talking or up to now that you wanna that's worthy of note, like anything. It could be your excitement. It could be now you walk differently because you know you have some
Uh,
guys that you're talking to.
the only thing I noticed is that since I started this semen retention, I noticed that I became more confident. I I became more. I just became more confident about myself. Like most times I'm not really confident about myself, but since I started this semen retention, I feel I'm more confident about myself. And I feel like I can see clearly now. Like I see things for what they are.
Mm.
So
And
Mm,
I think
only starting,
that's that's the only thing I've been observing for a while.
and that's a great thing. And you're only starting, bro. Ask these
right.
other
Yeah,
guys. Uh,
I,
you're you're only starting.
Right.
Thanks, man. Ronnie, real quick, anything worthy of
Hmm.
note up to this point? Just real quick.
Oh yeah, definitely. So as I mentioned before, I mentioned to you specifically, like we had a whole conversation. I was recently incarcerated on some very big crimes that I could have done life for. So this whole time while I was in jail awaiting my fate, I was retaining this whole entire time, even in the very stressful situation, I was retaining the entire time. And the first arraignment I went to, they offered me 22 years in prison. I refused. I went again to another arraignment, and then they said the case has been dropped. The whole entire case has been dropped. And I really strongly believe that there's a connection between me retaining and what happened that day in the courtroom, that I avoided 22 years in prison, you know? And it's not just that. Right when I came back the first week, my e- my e-commerce business has been booming again like it was before, and then my son, I hired a lawyer for him to get custody of him. So now I have temporary custody until the final judgment from the from the judge soon when I go to court. So I have court on Thursday, so hopefully, and I know that it's going to turn out in my favor. So just me coming out of jail and my business every day excelling every single day, and me getting custody of my son, I really feel like this entire thing has connections to me, very big connections to me retaining.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That,
Right.
that's great. That's worth noting. Absolutely, that's great. Well, for me, what did I say? Well, I got these two new guys. So Simba, I'm sorry, Afalabi and Rani. So success worth noting, and for you guys too, because now you have more brothers. And also, I hit a 1K sub last night, so
Nice.
it was just going fast. I mean, it was 80, 85. It went to 1K, and it kept going throughout the whole night. So that's, I mean, why is that worth mentioning? Maybe the product is good because I started September 22nd, 27 or 26 or something. So maybe the product is good in 5 months. And some people on YouTube would say it takes them forever to get to um, 1,000 sub. And then if I were to monetize with YouTube, you would need 4,000 watch hours. I had already hit 4,000 watch hours before the 1,000K sub.
Mhm.
So, uh, so that's good. So if I want to monetize, uh, so anyway, and I got this shirt made. It came from an idea to being real. This is what I'm going to shoot to record videos with from now on. I think it's an accomplishment for me. So, I so thank you guys. Now, next thing we want to talk about is connection. We want to talk about who's is that you, Simba? I think Simba is making that noise.
Oh yeah, but
Uh,
like anyway.
yeah, yeah. Um, Connection. Stay connected to me and to your community. This is for you. By this is this community or this work. This is for you to help you succeed on this journey. Text me back, call me back, reply to my messages, or reply to messages in the group. Stay connected. It will prevent your next relapse. This is a message that your father would pass on to you if he knew if he was doing this work. It's not so much a coach to a client. It's really um, a goodwill message. Now I have a few of you who stay connected no matter what. Call me, text me. What's interesting is a few of you call me and text me at any time. Like really the connection that's worthy of noting, and those few don't struggle as much. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And for myself, to back when I had a mentor for 7 years, when I struggled was when I didn't stay connected with him or to the community. Whatever the group was, I didn't go to group meetings, I didn't pick up phone calls, I didn't do my part, I didn't return emails. So when I didn't do that, that's when I was heavily PMO. Now he wasn't a PMO mentor; it was in the church, so he was preparing me and building me up, and I am so grateful to have had that man in my life because he contributed heavily to where I am right now. So, but when I did stay connected with him and with the community and with the people and doing the work, of course, I excelled. I mean, absolutely. So let's stay connected. It will prevent a relapse. If I call you, if I text you, you better believe the spirit is saying something. Maybe that's why I'm reaching out to you.
Mhm.
And those of you who do text back and do take the call and do get with me, or even when you're going through something, uh, uh, those few guys, they grow so fast and they're able to just expand by leaps and bounds. So connection is important. Connection is important. This is what this is. This is what this is for. It's for you. It's for your expansion. All right. So the next thing would be I want to go over the mastermind group purpose once again. This group is for a place for us to make sex energy transmutation real. That is holding the semen and applying that energy toward real life goals that will deliver real life tangible results. Because otherwise, if you're not doing that, a relapse is always imminent. And of course, even if you're doing that, a relapse is still imminent, let alone if you're not, if you're not doing it. How much worse if you're not doing it? So that's why I created the group. So I thought to myself, yeah, I could mentor and coach each guy separately, but what if I created a community? Of course, because and I am experienced with small groups coming from the church, having a church background. So that's the reason for it. And you should take the position that it's worth something for you, that you're going to participate and you're going to want to do the work. And whoever feels blessed to have this group is already making a lot of progress. So it's, because somebody wanted this group, somebody was looking for the group. I would have wanted to have something like that when I was recovering. Unfortunately, no David Hughes was out there. So it's a sex energy transmutation place. Now, it is also a tier on my Patreon. So if somebody goes and selects it, then they will be in the group. They just won't get the semen retention part of the work that I do with you guys. So they just would get this being on this call. But nobody has signed up for that yet. But anybody else who signed up with the other two tiers, like Ronnie and Afolabi, automatically you get to be here. Because I think this is like actually very important for all of you to come together, see each other, talk together, and get something done. So that's the purpose. And it's based on 5 pillars. Give me a second. I'm gonna read you the 5 pillars. So the 5 pillars that this group is based on is goal setting, planning, action, problem solving, and decision making. Goal setting, planning, action, decision making, and problem solving. So these are very specific subjects. They're not vague. So we want to keep the call and also the group me app or centered around these 5 pillars.